1906 we set sail from the sweet cove of Cork. We were sailing away.
It's only appropriate it was post Paddy's Day, know yourself.
Of course.
So OTT Contenders 7, which took place at the Ringside Club in the National Stadium in Dublin on the 18th, just post Paddy's Day, as we mentioned. It was one of those situations where, like, you know, like it's one, you probably noticed this when you watched it yourself, because you weren't at it, you watched this on demand.
I watched it on demand
during the week. And usually every OTT crowd is obviously very hyped, but in this case I think they were actually kind of slow going into it, at least at the start, because it was like, oh, we want a chance, but it's just we have all this still in our system.
Yeah.
So, but like eventually they got more into it, like, you know. So not making it as a complaint, because I for one was a victim of that as well. Like, you know, yourself,
I think you were all just still hungover a little bit. Yeah,
we were.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
We'll get onto it anyway.
Fair, yeah.
So the first match anyway. First of all, who's the? Do you know who the commentator was, by the way, on demand? The guy who was with Angus.
Tony Kelly.
Class commentator.
I think he's done a bit of work for CCW before.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with him now myself.
Whatever the case, I love his commentary, by the way. Like, he plays a awesome heel, like, you know. So I'm already loving the chemistry between him and Angus. So I hope that continues on anyway. So, but anyway, they'll get into the matches.
Do you have a problem with when it comes to Angle? It's not a bad problem. It's a funny problem.
Go for it. Where
anytime he tweets out, you end up reading the tweets in his voice in your head.
Well, you'd be like that with Butch on occasion, if that's the case.
Butch too, yeah, but Ango is worse.
I know, I haven't.
Anytime he sends a tweet out or anything like that, it's just, when I read it, when it's in my mind, it's just to his voice.
He has a very charming voice, to be fair to him.
He does.
No person ever noticed that.
You'll notice it now that I've mentioned it.
Probably will.
Yeah.
We'll get on to the matches anyway. First of all, the Mongrels, the team of Russell Dempster and Eddie Stone, took on Team Tropicana. Now, pre-match, Team Tropicana tried to avoid their new ring announcer, Jose, by leaving him outside the Tree Arena, thinking that their match was there instead. And then Team Tropicana came out, dressed up like Rocky Maivia, with Aiden learning his lesson this time. When he passed by, like, I don't know if you noticed from watching the Contenders before that, but Captain Sexy, he has this spray of water that he sprays, and he sprayed it in front of the front row, at least the side I was in, the one that faced the camera, like when you're watching it. And the last show, Aiden Apex slipped when going for a high five. He actually learned, oh no, I'm not falling for that this time. So he's like, he copped on this time. So he didn't go for the high five near the slippery floor, thanks to Sexy Spray. But anyway, when the ring announcement was made, Jose Idol just joined in just before Tropicana was introduced, by introducing Captain Sexy as Captain I Want Sexy, called him tall and skinny, and then called Aiden Apex Senor Epico. Calling him short and fat.
Senor Epico, too tall, skinny.
This one tall and skinny, this one is short and fat. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Oh.
But no, the match was very awesome as well. I love Aiden Apex's selling. He's such a good seller, like, you know, and the comedy aspects he adds to it as well. He's getting so good at that. Literally, he is Epico. He's literally a shining star.
You had that ready all week.
Yeah, of course it is. Outside of that, Captain Sexy, he's getting so good, isn't he?
Yeah.
His movement is slick. He's so evasive, as the commentary said, and his offense is so random. Like, he uses a lot of strikes, but in a very creative way.
Yeah.
So I love his offense for that. It was so funny when Jose then taunted Gavin Fitz then for his ironic lack of English, as he's annoyed.
That was a pretty good part at the start of the match, where they were actually talking to each other, the two teams.
Yeah.
And they didn't, obviously, Club Tropicana didn't understand what the Mongrels were saying, so they called Jose in to translate for them.
Anyway, Sexy then, it was very great wrestling from Dempster and Stone as well.
Yeah.
They're two really solid wrestlers, like, and I enjoyed their teamwork in particular, actually, as well. Like, they worked very well together. In the end, though, it was Sexy who attempted and failed to hit a super sexy slippery slide from one side of the ring to the other, before Apex hit it with Sexy as the base this time, so reversing roles. And then Fitz then distracted Apex before Dempster pinned Apex after Stone and Dempster double teamed from a backdrop throw into a powerbomb. Actually done it very well.
That was so sore looking.
Oh, it looked painful. It looked like
so sore looking.
Yeah. And again, then Jose Idol tries to make it better, and the loser is Team Tropicana. Very funny match. I'm really enjoying Team Tropicana, though, I have to say. So, and this is a new thing with Jose Idol. I can enjoy what this could lead to in the future for sure.
Oh, it leads to a match of Contenders 9 between them and the Anti-Fun Police.
Oh yes, Yeah,
That's going to be
that's Contenders 8. Sorry,
Contenders 8.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah,
You
Contenders 9 is post Scrappermania.
Yeah, I think that's when it was announced. Contenders 8, I think, is just the.
This is 7 that we're talking about now. 8 is the next one.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, is this? Oh, that's
I think
9.
it was announced for Contenders 9.
Oh.
I'll double check to make sure.
In the meantime, we'll talk about Legit 100s. Michael May and Curtis Murray taking on more than Hype's Darren Carney and Nathan Martin. You complimented this match in particular on Twitch, didn't you? So
this match was so good.
Yeah.
These 4 guys, and later on you'll hear it. I got the chance to talk to Butch earlier on, and I was saying the same thing as well. Like, we were talking about how obviously the Contender show has this perfect mix of experienced talent with younger talent, and it's a great way for them to sort of get to learn more stuff in the ring. These 4 lads are the embodiment of the great young talent that Ireland has at the moment.
absolutely, like, awesome wrestling from them all.
The match that these guys put on, all 4 together, were fantastic.
Here's-
Now, obviously not without some bumps, but we expected that, and the guys came back after the bumps fantastically. And recovered so well. To think on their feet like that, to actually keep it going.
What I'll say about that in particular, and I'll compliment Curtis Murray in particular over this, is his like his imagination for his lucha style.
Yeah.
I really enjoy. Obviously, despite the odd off move, like, but that's bound to happen every now and again. Like, you know, but you have to admire the imagination for it to even try it in the first place.
Yeah.
I have to pinpoint particular things for them all. Like, you know, but all compliments, don't worry. Michael May is so composed in there.
Yeah.
He is like the composure of a
He's
veteran.
like an ocean, isn't he?
Calm, but he can be angry as
Calm,
well.
but when the weather gets a little choppy,
And
he
tough.
can,
Jesus
tough.
Christ, he can take a strike.
Yep. He can definitely dish it out as well. He's it's just like it's how can I say it? He's kind of like, remember that episode of The Simpsons, okay? Where Marge sets up her own business, but then Homer borrows money from the mafia to help the business.
Okay.
Then the mafia come chasing after her, but then the Yakuza get involved too. Remember the guy in the white suit that just did nothing, and Homer's like, "Oh, come on, he looks like he's gonna do something cool on it." That's Michael May. He just stands there.
So he's that guy.
He stands there so calm and collected, but he's about to do something cool.
So you're saying he's like he's that guy who gets involved in the white suit. He just gets involved in everything,
and then just destroys everybody. Yes.
Okay, I have to play the scene.
But
Sorry.
Marge, that little guy hasn't done anything yet. Look at him. He's gonna do something, and you know it's gonna be good.
That's exactly it. Exactly it.
Although Michael May's not a small man.
No, he's not a small man at all.
Other things I have to point out: the technique in particular for Darren Carney, I think, is beautiful. Like, I think of all 4 of those men, I think he has the most flawless technique.
Yeah.
Like, if I was to point out, Nathan Martin, what I really like about him is he has the passion he has. It's like he has a huge chip on his shoulder. When he lost that match, he was so angry. Like, he took it personally.
Yeah.
Like he looked at Curtis Murray as if he killed his mother or something like that. That sort of way. So, other moves I want to bring up, like, very good springboard from May on Carney. That takes great technique to do that. I felt more than Hype. If I had to separate the two, more than Hype showed a better teamwork with their double teamed. Like, you know, like the teamwork that Carney and Martin did was pretty awesome.
Yeah, the little offense they had on Michael May.
Yeah.
At one stage where I finished with a double stomp from Martin.
Martin actually shows another thing I want to say about Martin. He shows a very well-rounded move sets already. Like, from a good set of powerbomb to a beautiful frog splash. By the way, that's Eddie Guerrero.
He got airtime on that.
It was Eddie Guerrero-esque.
Yeah.
On that frog splash, man. In the end, it was a very competitive match, but it ended with Murray pinning
That wasn't
Martin.
a 5-star frog splash. That was a 6-star frog splash.
And so it ended with Murray pinning Martin after an assisted springboard cutter with May. All men shook hands, but at this point, Martin seemed reluctant to shake hands at first, like he was shouting at Murray at one stage. But I think I like that where that's going. I feel like like, because Martin and Murray used to team up together before Legit 100 were formed. That now they're going to be facing each other in the NLW title tournament later on. We'll get on to about that in a wee bit. So that could be. I feel that could be the most competitive match of all those matches like coming up. So you think about it?
Yeah, I think you're right. Actually, it's a good call.
Now
Wait, can you really say that when Terry Thatcher's involved in the match?
That's the thing. But he's like, well, what I'm saying is like out of the quarterfinal matches, certainly, it could be the most intriguing match you could argue. Now, this was such an amazing, funny match. Angel Cruz, Rick from Team P. Rick, and the returning Electro.
It was not just Rick from Team P. Rick. It was Team. It was the whole team.
I know much on that. Taking on Be Cool, I Am Cool, aka Joe Coffey, and Big Daddy Cool, aka Tiny Iron. Now, Tiny Iron is obviously like so it's an ironic match because you have Tiny Iron and Electro, who both were around in OTT when it started, coming back for this match. So that's what makes it interesting. So Cruz came out at the start explaining his disappointments during the introduction, so he had to kill his best friends. Electro got a very good ovation, so it seems like got a good bunch of the crowds like remember who he is. Like, you know, I only remember him from main stage wrestling shows myself, but that's because I wasn't at OTT in the start, but that's just me. Nanny Cool was in attendance.
She was.
To see the Cools wrestle for the first time. But it was so funny when the Cools had pose-offs with B and I Am trying to impress Big Daddy, but I Am trying to get the better of the banter when Be Cool and Angel Cruz took shots at each other's dads and hair before Angel Cruz's attempt of old school was disrupted by Cool pushing Angel off the rope on top of Nanny Cool, killing her. She was 174. Apparently she was like...
May she rest in pieces.
Apparently she survived the famine. But she didn't survive Angel Cruz's close on the top rope.
Survive Angel Cruz.
Oh, but it was so funny. Cool then took out a splintered stick, calling Angel a horrible tag team partner and friend. And Angel looked like he just went off in silence before he stormed back in with an axe. And then Cool spit in his face before Angel took a plastic bag trying to suffocate Cool. But then Rick tried to convince the production to play a video of Cool and Angel when they were the best of friends, which seemed to convince him to make up.
Yeah.
I Am then tried to break it up before Cool gave him a brain buster. By the way, another good thing I love about that match is when Be Cool was looking for a brain buster first, and then I Am was like, no, you haven't got the legs for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just love that. Electro drop kicked Cool before Big Daddy pinned Electro after a choke slam. After the match, Big Daddy then asked both Cool and Angel to make up rather than fight over nothing and possibly fight for the tag titles in the future. They eventually embraced to a huge cheer with chants of Angel Cruisers and next tag champs. It's really... This match is as funny for me. Like, when you talk about the comedy matches...
The story in
OTT
this
do,
match was fantastic.
Oh, it's so well told.
Loved
but when you think of how just... when you think of all the comedy matches that we've seen in OTT, this is right up there. Like, for me, like, the funniest comedy match I've ever seen, obviously, is Tyler Bates, Be Cool, Angel Cruz against British Strong Style. This is right up there for me. Especially when it's the story that went into it. Like, you know, it's very engaging. So, can you see Angel Cruz as possibly being tag champs in the future? I'd love to see it personally, but can you actually realistically see it?
Yes. Yes, I can. Scrapper Mania.
Why not?
Scrapper Mania.
Well, it's interesting because they'll be facing Kings of the North at Martina's Gap Party next. So
for the number one contender.
Indeed, yes. We'll get into that a bit shortly. In the meantime, we were supposed to then see Kings of the North against Aussie Open before Dom Tuck came out, just before Butch was about to announce that. Again, issuing his second ever Open Challenge.
Yeah.
Paul Tracy then came out, believe it or not, making his Contenders debut.
Was he not in the first one?
Nope.
Oh, he was advertised.
He was advertised for it, but he wasn't there for it.
Oh, okay.
I had no idea who Tuck was before Tuck said that he's going to stick Tracy's silver spoon up his arse before slapping it in the face. Tracy squashed him in no time after a Rainmaker.
Yeah, it was kind of like it was a child getting beaten up. It's like you see a child, like you'd see a child getting beaten up in the middle of the street. Like, you want to stop it, but you don't feel like you should step in on someone parenting their child.
But we see also he kind of deserves it, you know.
Yeah, well, at least the cardigan was safe.
I think once a cashmere cardigan safe, that's the important thing. Then we finally got on to Kings of the North versus Aussie Open.
I hope that continues actually for each contender show.
Oh, it has to.
I hope it does.
It's going to continue for every show he's in.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be in Fight Factory. It could even be in PWU. He gets a gig there as well, I think, doesn't he? So I think he wrestles for them as well. Don't know.
I don't know. I don't know about PWU. No? I'm not too sure about that.
I think I don't know if he does that sort of thing for them. But I seen him be in a few matches, so I'm not aware of it. But anyway, going back to Kings of the North versus Aussie Open. Like, these guys are it's a proper tag team match. These two are two of the best tag teams in Europe at the moment. Kyle Fletcher makes everything look so easy with some of his moves. Like the way he went over the top rope and onto the floor, and landed his feet like was nothing. Makes it look effortless. I have to compliment as well Damon Corvin. His work rate and pace is incredible. When you see how fast he goes at it and how hard he has to work for it. For me, he's easily one of the most underrated wrestlers in the country. When you consider that, like, you know, I'd love to see, like, obviously he's doing incredibly well with Kings of the North, but I can only imagine what it'd be like if he was a singles man, you know, that sort of way.
I have a theory about what I think could happen, and I think they laid the foundations for it.
Well, I know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
Go for it. We might as well get onto it now.
Yeah, Corbin's turning heel and he's going to break away from Kings of the North.
I can see it happening.
I could see it on his face. The facial expressions were fantastic. And I could see it. I could see, like, this is leading up to something. And yes. I'd hate to see Kings of the North break up. I don't want to see Kings of the North break up.
But it could be.
I think it could be a blessing though for Damien, because I think he's ready for a single. Like, he's ready to challenge Jordan for the OTT World Heavyweight Championship. No doubt about it.
It was an excellent match anyway, but it ended with Davis pinning Corbin after a Fletcher super kick and Davis's close your eyes and count to 5 pile driver for an upset when you consider Kings of the North's success in OTT.
Yeah.
Like, Kings of the North obviously showed their disappointment, as we said, after shaking Ozzy Open's hands, and it's interesting, like, the once dominant former OTT tag team champions, and they lost their 3rd match in a row. If my maths are right anyway. I think it's their 3rd match.
It's not their 3rd match.
Well,
it's their 2nd match in a row.
No, because they lost the titles at Dublin. They then lost a rematch in Belfast, and now this.
Oh, I didn't think of Belfast. Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I like your theory though. Now before the after the break, then Debbie could tell. Or what happened was Be Cool scared Debbie. After Be Cool scared Debbie in the locker room, Debbie discovered that someone vandalized her bag. Guessing that Raven Creed was responsible, she stormed to the ring and called her out. Raven then came out and attacked her. Thanks to the distraction of Gunter Isaac, Debbie then fought back to make Raven retreat. Debbie then challenged her to a match at Contenders 8. Raven rejected, saying that it wasn't big enough and wanted the match to happen at Defiance. Debbie accepted biatch. And this match again will be one of the qualifiers to challenge for the OTT Women's title in the Fatal 4-Way, which actually makes it way more intriguing as well. So either one of these girls could be OTT Women's Champion by the start of the month, next month.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Indeed. It's incredible. And they're both incredibly hard working, so I'm delighted for both of them. Like, so So this rivalry continues.
They've had, like we keep mentioning, anytime these two are brought up together, they are having the best matches, I think, of any women in Ireland at the moment.
This is the best rivalry in the country,
yeah,
bar none right now.
Yeah,
bar none. Like even better than the Jet 100 against More Than Hype against the Mongols. This is it right now.
Well, see, that's only started, so it
that's
hasn't
true.
actually gotten into it yet.
Whereas this
this is definitely in the middle.
Whereas
of it at
this
the
laid
moment.
foundations last year, at the end of last year, but this is it right now. Like they're doing so well.
Poor
right
Gunter as well.
Oh God, yeah,
poor
that kick.
Gunter.
I feel for you, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, Martina now defended her women or your neutral gender title. It was originally supposed to be Martina against LJ Cleary against Chris Brooks, but Chris Brooks couldn't make it due to travel issues. Therefore, it was then brought to be LJ versus Martina, with Fabulous Nikki then including himself into the match before where they got onto the way.
Yeah.
It was so funny how Martina was introduced. It was a quieter intro.
Oh, it was brilliant.
With Butch whispering to the crowds.
Yeah.
While they quietly rave. And her head exploded when all the blood
They
chants
even
went out.
toned down the music and everything.
It was
brilliant.
Oh, so funny. LJ has, like, I have to say, he flows so nicely in the ring. Like everything, like we talk about Kyle Fletcher being everything looking so easy. It's the same for LJ as well.
Yeah.
Martina, I have to say, her strikes are so good.
Since when, okay, did Blair get so over?
Apparently, that's a thing. That's sort of like a silly thing that that Nathan Martin, Devin Carney, and LJ Cleary did. It's
the thing for them, for More Than Hype together.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that over.
It's just that only started after their last match, when it was them against I think it was the Mongrels.
Yeah.
At the last event, and they only started then. But it's been gathering pace since. After 2 events, it's already over. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's because LJ Cleary is so over anyway, and then he adds like to it.
We talked about it actually in the interviews, just how good LJ has been and how he has basically stamped himself into a regular OTT slot
Absolutely.
On Contenders, on main shows, on anything OTT do, he'd be there now.
Absolutely.
And I think he did that when he had that match with Trent Seven at Homecoming.
Oh, absolutely.
That was the defining match for him, I think.
I think so, absolutely. Like, but going back to Martina, like her strikes are like Cassie's Ono, like those forearms. Like when you look at the way she
those
hits
strikes
them,
are so hard that she's going to do just fine to start.
Oh, she'll be
just fine.
Maybe that's why. Like, so
yeah, it's going to getting the strength in those arms early, because you're going to have to hit those girls hard if you want to do some damage.
It was a very entertaining match, but after Martina nailed her satellite DET on Nikki, LJ surprised Martina with a roll up to pin her and become the new champion. For me, that's moment of the year so far.
The pop alone.
Oh wow! I was so shocked. Like, I think no one expected. Here's Amy and Alison, who are right beside me. They couldn't believe it because they're massive Martina fans, and they actually were still for like a minute.
Of course, LJ's son Keane, biggest smile on his face there when his dad won the title, and he shares it with his son after the match and everything. A fantastic moment,
indeed,
for the Cleary family.
Indeed. Anyway, Scotty Davis then went into the ring. Originally, he was supposed to take on Travis Banks, but due to injury, he couldn't participate, and therefore Tucker was his replacement. And this was a terrific match. Yeah, an awesome match. Again, such a fantastic match to watch. And again, every time we talk about how good Scotty Davis is, he just gets better. Yeah. Again, and it's scary. It's scary how good this guy is. We talk about people setting place in OTT. Yeah. Scotty Davis is, for me, the guy who's ahead of everyone right now in that position, because he's already getting regular spots in the main shows.
Scotty Davis keeps going the way he is. By this time next year, he'll be in the title scene.
Well, he could be in the title scene as it is. Like,
he already is in the NLW. I'm talking about the heavyweight title scene.
Yeah, that finisher he landed on Tucker in the end, though, where he reversed into a version of the Crossroads, and the way it landed, like, actually looked like Tucker literally hit his head hard. Like, so awesome match, and it looked like it was all respect after, until Tucker took a bit of a heel move and super kicked him in the end.
Well, he does have to show him who's the more experienced one.
Indeed, yeah.
He does have to bring him back down to earth a little bit.
Yeah. So it makes it more intriguing. So I'd love to see them again in the ring sometime. And the main event, Jonah Rock making his OTT debut against Terry Thatcher. Now, earlier on, Thatcher pleads to William J. Humperdinck for a chance to be in the NLW title tournament. But Humperdinck wasn't sure and encouraged him to prove himself against Jonah Rock. And I compared this match to Joe Coffey against Michael May last year, where it was like Michael May just wouldn't let go. Yeah. Like, even though Joe Coffey was well in his capabilities to keep at him. Yeah. This was so much more intriguing considering the size difference. Here's Jonah Rock, who's twice the size of Terry Thatcher. I think 320 pounds to Terry Thatcher's 150. Yeah. And by God, he took a
321 to 150.
He took a beating. I thought my chops were bad. My chops I took were bad. Mother of gods. Pardon my language, but
I think the worst one was where he threw him on top of the bar.
Oh, it was so. But again, the more he took,
a moment of silence for the lost nipple of Terry Thatcher.
I'm gonna
goodbye, nipple.
I feel for him. I've been there, but I don't think it was that bad though. Anyway, in the end it was obviously Rock who won, but you have to admire the fight back of Terry Thatcher, and in the end he did earn his spot in the tournament. Obviously Johnny Rock praised him afterwards. Everyone praised him afterwards as well. So, and in the end then William J came out. He announced the tournaments, and this is what the matches will be. Terry Thatcher, earning his spot, will take on the Mongols Eddie Stone. Doug Williams will take on Michael May in a rematch from the previous Contenders show, so that's going to be an interesting match actually. Yeah. Nathan Martin and Curtis Murray, I think, is a match I'm personally looking forward to the most, considering I think there's a bit of a rivalry brewing between them. Yeah. And Scotty Davis will be taking on the winner of Chris Ridgway and El Fantismo. Now, that's a match that's going to be taking place at Martina's Gaff Party coming up next week. So that's a really open book, could go either way for that one.
Interesting thing that I heard today from Butch as well.
What's that?
This is not Terry Thatcher's first run at the NLW title.
Oh, no, yeah, he's the most experienced out of all the Irish guys there.
Yeah, he had
which not many people realise.
2015. He challenged then champion Paul Tracy for the title. which I did not know.
I did know that, actually. Like, you know, not of people realize that because of because Terry Thatcher's, like, he's in his, I don't know, he's probably somewhere close to our age, maybe in his 30s. I'm not too sure. But he's the most experienced for sure. Like, but now he's finally getting to show as well. Like, and he's just as good as them all, like, as far as I can see. So,
yeah,
awesome show. Like, I said it before and I'll say it again. The Contender shows are getting so good. So good. And when you consider the value of what you're getting, considering what you get from the main shows, the tickets for that are what, €15?
Yeah.
Compared to maybe 25, and everyone gets a seat. There's a carvery. Even though it's a family oriented show, you can bring a younger audience. It's just as entertaining, and the wrestling is top notch.
Exactly,
top notch, and it's only getting better. Like, I can only imagine what's gonna be like when all the guys in Contenders are going to be at the main show, because boy, will that do well.
They're in a good place.
It's in exciting times.
They're in a good place.
Very exciting times.